president has the unilateral right to choose who he wants to be his inspector general at every agency in the federal government. They're presidentially confirmed positions, and those persons, just like all of us, serve at the pleasure of the President of the United States. In this case, I recommend to the President that Steve Linnick be terminated. Frankly, should have done it some time ago. Let's be clear. There are claims that this was for retaliation, for some investigation that the Inspector General's office here was engaged in. Patently false. I have no sense of what investigations were taking place inside the Inspector General's office. Couldn't possibly have retaliated for all the things. I've seen the various stories that someone was walking my dog to sell arms to my dry cleaner. I mean, it's all just crazy. It's all crazy stuff.
This is kind of a first.
It's all crazy. It's all crazy stuff.
But maybe this is a time to put other
You know,
things first.
it's mind-boggling.
Being the first to check in.
You know, this brings up so much for me. You know, walking a
First to try
dog.
your hand at the culinary
You know, back in
arts.
Howard County,
All the arts.
for some reason,
First to volunteer.
when Obama came to see me in a jail, it showed Bo being very scared after he heard Obama say, "I love cats and hate dogs." You know, at the same time, when I got back from Florida, the Columbia Mall shooting went down, and some guy came in a love triangle, supposedly, reported all day by CNN, which I watched in the bar that Nomi took me to the hotel across the street from when getting back from Florida, and later needed to acquire my storage key locker, at which point her husband, a Brigadier General, tried to murder me with a 9-iron, like he was, the wife of a very famous golf star called Tiger Woods. Me not realizing they might not be fully separated. Back to the story, that's right. So this kid who was coming up to the Columbia Mall was found with unlimited amounts of arsenals, ammos, looking like he was going to do more than just shoot two people relevant in the story of this. Meanwhile, I got a job with Salvation Army at the time, working the bells. And the pastor there from Howard County told me that, in fact, it was Hillary Clinton running a ring to commit an offense on Howard County, which is a sanctuary of federal workers who are nonpartisan, based on the fact they're not in politics. They're making maps, they're making bombs, they're making real shit. They're making drones, they're making all sorts of stuff. And this is evident between Baltimore and Washington. This isn't just Howard County. Any physical piece of land between D.C. and Baltimore is occupied by mass federal bureaucratic buildings and operators. This is where I grew up, in between Baltimore and D.C., in Howard County, the wealthiest little county in between those two wealthy cities. But, what are we to think right now? What are we to say? What are we to do when people are running these codes, these games, these bullshits? And here I am, a hobo, dealing with all this shit I just explained to you. And here they are investigating arms, dog walking, and other sorts of bullshit, instead of taking Matthew Jason Baker's call, saying, "What the fuck do you think you're doing? What the fuck do you think you're going to continue to do to me? And how other retarded codes are you going to create to fuck with my head? A hobo, a civilian, and a man trying to make his life work." This is why I'm moving. This is why I'm getting the fuck out of here. I'm sick and tired of this horse shit.